1,000 meters, and away they go. True Design, white sleeves and cap on the far side, began well, passed by Magdala in the green, and on the outside is Bretty. Then came Million Reasons, Magical River, Gold Quest is in behind them, then Blue Palace further back in the field. Then came Double Trade. Splicethemainbrace is towards the outside, followed further back in the field by Fire Festival, and then comes Oh My Gucci Girl. 500 meters left to go, and Magdala's in front by about 3 or 4 lengths. From in second, Blue Palace up the far inside in the pink and white. Then came True Design, Gold Quest, Bretty down the centre, the pink blinkers. On the outside, Splicethemainbrace is also running on. Magdala's in front with 200 metres left to go. Splicethemainbrace is starting to close it down. Then came Blue Palace. Further back in the field is Bretty, but it's still Magdala in front. Here comes Splicethemainbrace, and Splicethemainbrace got to the lead and won. Second place, Magdala. Then came Blue Palace. Further back was Bretty. 1-7-2-3 is how they crossed the line. As you heard on replay, Magdala's in front by 3 or 4 lengths. Splicethemainbrace 4 from the right-hand side. Got the sheepskin noseband on. Is drifting across to the left-hand side though, but manages to make up the ground as Magdala starts to lug. Then came Blue Palace down the inside. But Splicethemainbrace is victorious in the first of the day.
Splicethemainbrace that goes back to back here, 2 runs, 2 wins. She's really started her career off very smartly. I've got Jackson, who's an assistant for Alan, here to collect the World Sports Betting 1,500 Rand groom's bonus check on behalf of Godfrey, and I'm sure he's going to be delighted. He's already received 2 of these courtesy of Splicethemainbrace. Jackson, thank you very much. Richard standing by, starting off his day in superb style here. Splicethemainbrace also, you were aboard last time, so you and her know each other very well.
Yeah, she's improved a lot from the first run. That day it was a hurdling tailwind, and obviously 800 meters you didn't want to give too much start, and I was always at her. So I used it the whole race, and she still managed to hold on for the win, even though the second up runner was flying. And coming into today, she's carrying 3 kilos more, drawn on the other side of the track. So I just said to myself, I'm going to look for cover and just ride a normal race. And based on what I did to her last time, I could just reserve her this time, and she'd finish strongly. And I didn't think she could win, but she surprised me. She put it together nicely, and she cooking up well. So there's definitely a bit of scope there. So well done to Mr. Greff and his team. To my sponsors, and also to Mr. Chada and his family. Thank you very much for the support, and yeah, like I said, to Winning Form for their support.
Got to just touch on the fact, though, it beautifully turned out, don't get me wrong, she looked lovely, but when you saw a whole lot of more chunky first-timers step out, and you watch her goes down, and she does not go down like a 1,000-meter horse, she goes down like she wants distance. It's just really interesting that she can actually do this well over sprints.
Yeah, look, there's no rules. Just because they look like sprinters doesn't necessarily make them sprinters, but she doesn't look like a sprinter, but she does quicken off well. Obviously early days, long way to go. Yeah, she continues in this route and maybe grow a little bit and try and get her head right in the gate. She was a bit fractious, and I could have lost the race there if she had gone up, but yeah, anyway.
Okay, got to touch on a couple of your runners before I let you run away. On the guest list?
Always there.
You sound like somebody else I know.
I'm learning.
It's a bit hard to ask you about Meet at the Winds. I know you've ridden him before. You didn't win on him last time, and he did win at long odds. I'm sure you're just hoping he'll be competitive again. How do you feel about Inherit the Rain over 1,400?
Obviously, the weights there is a bit tricky. I think the number 1 horse is very hard to beat. But yeah, I think he'll be in the quartet.
And a horse like Saturn Moon, good run over shorter last time out. She'll appreciate the step up and trip.
Yes, she didn't have the blinkers on last time, but I could see why she needs the blinkers, so we stuck them back on. As soon as she hits daylight, she starts wandering, so I'll keep her well hidden very late for some production at the end to get the win.
Brilliant. Richard, well done for this one.
Thank you very much.
Alan standing by. He's going to pop in and join me now. And what I do have to do is definitely give Alan kudos for the comments on this filly. Alan, you're actually very bullish. Richard said he's surprised that she won, and your comments were, unless there's an outstanding first-timer, she's going to be very competitive again.
Yeah, you know, we beg to differ on this one,
Yes.
I must admit. And I was bullish because I thought she won well first time.
Yeah.
With
I
not
know
a lot.
she was a pleasant surprise win, yeah.
You know, I hadn't done a lot with her, and she'd been asked to do everything, and she did it, and she could only come on from there. But today, I fancied a little bit of cold feet once there were a couple of other horses being backed in the race. So, you know, you got to respect it,
Yeah.
especially first timers. You never know what you're going to meet. So, if money comes, you got to respect it. But needless to say, Richard said to me he's going to drop her out. He did. He jumped out the gates. His headwind, he's going to drop her out, let her run on. He did that, and about 400 out, I could see. I know she's got a huge action on her, and that she just had to lengthen that action, and she was going to start wearing them down, which she did. And very well done to Fastentone, who bred her to ASM Racing, Warren Rippon, and Rinchada. Touchwood, they're having a nice little trot, and
Yeah, they were here leading in. Well, Warren was here to lead in the sister.
the full
Yes,
sister on Tuesday.
Yeah.
So back-to-back victories for sisters, and well done to them.
Fantastic. And Alan, thanks very much for always being so forthcoming with your comments. You've definitely steered the public in the right direction. Well done. Big thanks to Alan for the comments earlier in the week. Made this one to take note of. Greatly appreciated. And we've heard a little bit from Richard about his runners coming up, so take note of that. Very well done to the ASSM syndicate. They, as Alan said, are enjoying a wonderful trot at the moment. Long may it last, and looks like you've got yourself a smart one here.